Queen Zarathis sat on her crystal throne, watching the morning light dance across the palace walls. Her blue skin glowed softly in the sunlight, and her forearms rested gracefully on the armrests. Today was supposed to be a good day. Her daughter, Princess Liranel, was coming home from her trip to the human world, called Earth. The queen had ruled the Kaltharan Empire for 300 years. She was wise, powerful, and respected throughout the galaxy. Her people trusted her to make the right choices for their future, but nothing could have prepared her for what was about to happen. The great doors of the throne room opened with a loud sound. Princess Liranel walked in, but something was different about her. She moved slowly and carefully. Her usually slim figure looked rounder than before. The queen's sharp eyes noticed this immediately. "My daughter," the queen said, standing up from her throne. "Welcome home. How was your mission to the human planet?" Liranel stopped in front of the throne and bowed her head. "Mother, I have much to tell you. The humans agreed to our trade deals. They will share their technology with us." "Good," the queen replied. "But you look different. Are you feeling well?" Liranel took a deep breath. "Mother, I need to tell you something important. Something that will change everything." The queen felt a cold fear run through her body. In all her years of ruling, she had learned to sense when bad news was coming. "What is it, my child?" "I am going to have a baby," Liranel said quietly. The queen smiled for a moment. A grandchild was always good news. But then she realized something was wrong. Her daughter had been gone for only 6 months. Kaltharan pregnancies took 2 full years. This was impossible. "That cannot be right," the queen said slowly. "You have not been gone long enough." Liranel looked up at her mother with sad but determined eyes. "The father is human, mother. I am carrying a human's child." The words hit the queen like a physical blow. She stumbled backward and sat down hard on her throne. Her 4 hands gripped the armrests so tightly that the crystal began to crack. "What did you say?" the queen whispered. "His name is Marcus Chen. He is a captain in the human space forces. I love him, mother, and he loves me." The queen's mind raced. This was impossible. Humans and Kaltharans could not have children together. Their bodies were too different. Their blood was different. Everything about them was different. For thousands of years, the Kaltharans had kept their bloodlines pure. No alien blood had ever mixed with theirs. "This is not possible," the queen said, her voice getting louder. "Our people cannot mix with humans. Our doctors have told us this many times." "I thought the same thing," Liranel said. "But I am pregnant." The human doctors confirmed it. So did our own medical team when I returned home this morning. The queen stood up again, her body shaking with anger and fear. "You went to our doctors?" "Yes, mother. Dr. Veltar examined me. He was very surprised. But the tests do not lie. I am carrying a half-human, half-Kaltharan child." The queen felt like the room was spinning around her. In all her years of life, nothing had shocked her this much. She had fought in wars, made peace with enemies, and solved problems that seemed impossible. But this was beyond anything she could understand. "How could you do this to our family?" the queen asked, her voice full of pain. "How could you do this to our people? We have kept our blood pure for thousands of years. We are the oldest and most noble race in this galaxy. And now you have mixed our blood with humans," Liranel finished. "Yes, mother, and I am not sorry for it." The queen stared at her daughter in shock. "You are not sorry? Do you understand what you have done? You have ruined everything our ancestors built. You have destroyed the purity of our royal blood." Liranel stepped closer to the throne. "I have fallen in love, mother. I have found someone who makes me happy, someone who respects our culture and wants to learn from us. Marcus is a good man. He is smart, kind, and brave. He is human," the queen shouted, her voice echoing through the great hall. "Humans are violent and primitive. They fight wars over small pieces of land. They destroy their own planet with pollution. They cannot even live in peace with their own kind. And you want to bring their blood into our royal family? You do not know humans the way I do, Liranel said firmly. You only know the stories our enemies tell about them. Marcus showed me the truth about his people. They are not what we have been told. The queen laughed, but it was not a happy sound. And what truth is that? They are the most amazing people in the galaxy, Liranel said. They learn faster than any race we have ever met. They solve problems in ways we never thought of. They care about others, even people they do not know. Marcus risked his life to save one of our diplomats when pirates attacked our ship. I do not care what this Marcus did, the queen said coldly. What matters is what you have done. You have betrayed your own people. You have betrayed me. Liranel's eyes filled with tears. But she did not back down. I have not betrayed anyone. I have found love. I have found hope for our future. This child I carry represents something wonderful. A bridge between our peoples. It represents the end of everything we are, the queen replied. Guards. Several tall Kaltharan soldiers entered the room. They wore blue armor and carried energy weapons. Take the princess to her room, the queen ordered. She will stay there until I decide what to do about this situation. Mother, please, Liranel begged. Just give Marcus a chance. Meet him. Talk to him. You will see that I am right. I will never meet this human, the queen said with ice in her voice. And you will never see him again. This madness ends now. As the guards led her daughter away, the queen sank back onto her throne. She put her head in her hands and tried to understand what had just happened. Her perfect daughter, the future ruler of their empire, was carrying the child of an alien. A human alien. The queen had many difficult decisions to make, but this was the hardest of all. She had to protect her people and their way of life. But she also had to protect her daughter. And now, somehow, she had to figure out what to do about a grandchild who should not exist. Captain Marcus Chen stood on the observation deck of his ship, looking out at the stars. He knew that somewhere among those distant lights was the planet where Lyra lived. His heart felt heavy as he thought about her. By now, she would have told her mother about the baby. He could only imagine how angry the queen must be. Marcus was not what most aliens expected when they met a human. He was tall but not huge, with dark hair and kind brown eyes. He spoke softly and listened more than he talked. When he smiled, people felt comfortable around him. But what made him special was not how he looked, it was how he thought. 3 months earlier, Marcus had arrived at the Kaltharan homeworld as part of a peace mission. Earth needed new allies, and the Kaltharans needed Earth's resources. It should have been a simple trade agreement. Nobody expected what happened next. The first meeting had not gone well. The Kaltharan nobles looked at Marcus and his team like they were wild animals. They whispered to each other in their own language, thinking the humans could not understand. Marcus had studied Kaltharan for 2 years before the mission. He understood every word they said. Look at them, one noble had whispered. So short and ugly. And they only have 2 arms. How do they do anything useful? I heard they still fight wars with explosives, another replied. So primitive. Marcus did not get angry. Instead, he waited for the right moment. When the meeting officially started, he stood up and spoke in perfect Kaltharan. Honored nobles of Kalthar, he began. We thank you for welcoming us to your beautiful world. We hope that our 2 peoples can learn from each other and build a friendship that will last for many generations. The room went completely quiet. The nobles stared at Marcus in shock. Princess Liranel, who had been sitting quietly at the side of the room, sat up straight and looked at him with new interest. The lead Kaltharan diplomat, Lord Velgoth, recovered first. You speak our language very well, Captain Chen. We did not expect this. We humans believe that learning about other cultures is the first step to understanding, Marcus replied. Before we came here, our entire team studied your history, your customs, and your language. We want to show proper respect. Over the following days, Marcus impressed everyone with his knowledge. He knew about Kaltharan art, music, and poetry. He understood their complex social customs. When he ate with them, he used the correct hand movements and spoke the proper greetings. He even learned their traditional songs. But what really amazed the Caltharans was how Marcus solved problems. One day, Lord Velgoth mentioned a crisis in their outer colonies. Food shipments were taking too long to arrive, and people were going hungry. The problem had existed for 50 years, and no one could fix it. "May I look at your shipping routes?" Marcus asked politely. The Caltharans showed him their maps and schedules. Marcus studied them for 3 hours without saying a word. Then he asked for paper and began drawing diagrams. "The problem is not your ships or your food production," Marcus explained. "The problem is your route planning. You are sending all ships to the biggest colony first, then to the smaller ones. This creates traffic jams at the main spaceport." He showed them a new system. Instead of one big route, he suggested multiple smaller routes. Ships would deliver food to several small colonies first, then end at the big colony. The bigger colony could wait longer because it had storage warehouses. "This is impossible," Lord Velgoth said. "Our computers have calculated the best routes already." "Your computers are thinking about the problem in the wrong way," Marcus replied gently. "They are trying to find the fastest single route. But sometimes the fastest way is not the best way. Sometimes you need to think about the whole system, not just one part." The Caltharans tested Marcus's idea. Within a month, food deliveries improved by 40%. No more colonies went hungry. The nobles were amazed. A human had solved a problem that their best minds could not fix. Princess Lirinel began spending more time with Marcus. At first, she was just curious about how humans thought. But soon she realized that Marcus was different from anyone she had ever met. "How do you see solutions that we cannot see?" she asked him one day as they walked through the royal gardens. Marcus thought for a moment. "Humans have a saying. When you only have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Your people are very smart, but you have been thinking about problems in the same way for thousands of years. We humans are newer to space travel. We have to find different ways to solve problems, because we do not have all the tools that older races have." "You mean you are better problem solvers because you are more primitive?" Lyra asked, smiling. Marcus laughed. "Not primitive, just different. Every race has special abilities. Caltharans are incredibly wise and patient. You build things that last for centuries. Humans are adaptable and creative. We find new ways to use old tools." As the weeks passed, Lyra and Marcus spent more time together. She showed him Caltharan art and philosophy. He taught her about human literature and music. They discovered that they both loved mathematics and poetry, even though their peoples expressed these things very differently. "I never thought an alien could understand our culture so deeply," Lyra admitted one evening as they watched the sunset. "I never thought I could feel at home on an alien world," Marcus replied. "But here with you, I do feel at home." Their friendship slowly grew into something deeper. Marcus treated Lyra with respect and kindness. He never tried to change her or make her more human. He loved her exactly as she was. Lyra had never met anyone who accepted her so completely. When pirates attacked a Caltharan diplomatic ship, Marcus did not hesitate. He took his small human vessel and flew directly into the battle. His ship was tiny compared to the pirate vessels, but he used clever tactics to confuse them. He saved the Caltharan diplomats and destroyed 2 pirate ships without losing a single human life. "Why did you risk your life for our people?" Lord Velgoth asked afterward. "Because they are people," Marcus answered simply. "When people are in danger, you help them. It does not matter what planet they come from." Now, as Marcus stood looking at the stars, he wondered if he would ever see Lyra again. He knew the Queen would be angry about their relationship. But he also knew that what he and Lyra shared was real and pure. Their love had created something beautiful, a child who would be part of both their worlds. Marcus made a decision. He would not run away or hide. If the Queen wanted to judge him, she could do it to his face. He set course for the Caltharan homeworld. Whatever happened next, he would face it with courage and honor. Queen Zarathis could not sleep. For 3 days, she had paced through her palace. trying to understand what had happened to her daughter. How could a human have tricked Lyranel into believing she loved him? The queen was sure it must be some kind of mind control or alien technology. "Bring me Dr. Veltar and Commander Keshan," she ordered her guards. "I want to know everything about this human who has poisoned my daughter's mind." Within an hour, the queen's most trusted advisors stood before her. Dr. Veltar was the royal scientist, an old Kaltharan with silver skin and wise eyes. Commander Keshan led the Royal Intelligence Service. If anyone could uncover the truth about humans, it would be these two. "I want a complete investigation of human capabilities," the Queen announced. "Find out how they manipulated my daughter. What kind of technology do they use? What weapons do they have? How did this Marcus Chen trick a Kaltharan princess into betraying her own people?" Dr. Veltar looked uncomfortable. "Your Majesty, I have already examined the princess. There are no signs of mind control or alien technology. The pregnancy appears to be completely natural." "That is impossible," the Queen snapped. "Humans and Kaltharans cannot have children together." "I thought so too, Doctor," Veltar admitted. "But the tests do not lie. The child carries DNA from both species. It seems that humans are more genetically compatible with us than we ever imagined." Commander Keshan cleared his throat. "Your Majesty, I have been gathering intelligence about humans for many years. Perhaps you should know what we have learned." "Tell me everything," the Queen demanded. The commander activated a holographic display. Images of Earth appeared in the air above them. The Queen saw a blue and green planet that looked beautiful from space. But she knew that looks could be deceiving. "Humans are indeed a young species," Keshan began. "They have only been traveling in space for about 200 years. But in that short time, they have accomplished remarkable things." "What could be remarkable about such primitives?" the Queen asked. "They rebuilt their entire civilization after a global war that nearly destroyed them," Keshan explained. 50 years ago, humans fought a war that killed millions of people and poisoned large parts of their planet. Most species would have taken centuries to recover. Humans did it in 20 years. The Queen frowned. "They are violent, just as I thought." "Yes, but that is not the full story, Doctor," Veltar added. "After the war, they changed their entire way of thinking. They created something called the United Earth Alliance. Instead of fighting each other, they began working together to explore space and meet other species." New images appeared in the hologram. The Queen saw human cities that looked clean and peaceful. She saw humans of different colors and sizes working together on complex projects. "They are very adaptable," Commander Keshan continued. "When they meet a new alien species, they study that species carefully. They learn the language, the customs, the history. They try to understand instead of trying to conquer." "But surely they are still violent underneath," the Queen insisted. "Some humans are violent, yes," Dr. Veltar acknowledged. "But most are not. We have been monitoring their communications for years. They have something they call humanitarian missions. When disasters happen on other worlds, humans send help even to species they barely know." The Queen was surprised by this. "Why would they help strangers?" "They seem to believe that all intelligent life is valuable," Keshan explained. "It is a very unusual philosophy. Most species only care about their own people." And more images appeared. The Queen saw human doctors treating wounded aliens. She saw human engineers helping to rebuild cities on war-torn planets. She saw human teachers sharing knowledge with alien children. "This cannot be real," the Queen said. "No species is that generous, without expecting something in return." "That is what we thought too, Doctor," Veltar said. "So, we investigated further. We found records of humans helping with disaster relief on 17 different worlds. They asked for nothing in return. No territory, no resources, no political favors. They helped because they believed it was the right thing to do." The Queen sat down heavily in her chair. This was not what she expected to hear. "Tell me about this Marcus Chen," she demanded. "What makes him so special that my daughter would abandon her own people for him?" Commander Keshan brought up a new file. A picture of Marcus appeared in the hologram. The Queen saw a human male with kind eyes and a gentle smile. He did not look dangerous or manipulative. Captain Marcus Chen, age 32, Keshan read from the file. Born on Earth, Colony World, New Singapore. Parents were both diplomats. Educated at the Human Space Academy. Graduated first in his class in languages and cultural studies. What does that mean? The Queen asked. It means he is very smart and very good at understanding other cultures, Dr. Veltar explained. His mission record shows that he has successfully negotiated peace treaties with 7 different alien species. He has never used force or threats. He always finds solutions that benefit everyone. The Queen studied Marcus's image. What about his personal life? Does he have a history of seducing alien women? No, Your Majesty, Keshan replied. Before Princess Lyranel, he had never been in a romantic relationship with an alien. His previous relationships were all with human women, and they all ended amicably. His former partners speak well of him. There must be something, the Queen insisted. Some weakness, some flaw we can use against him. Dr. Veltar hesitated. Your Majesty, there is one thing that might be considered a flaw, depending on how you look at it. What is it? He is almost too honest. His psychological profile shows that he cannot lie convincingly, even when it would benefit him. During one diplomatic mission, he admitted to an alien leader that humans had made mistakes in the past, even though this admission put the negotiations at risk. The Queen stared at the hologram. He told the truth even when it hurt his mission? Yes. And the alien leader was so impressed by his honesty that the negotiations succeeded anyway, Keshan added. For a long moment, the Queen was silent. Then she asked, what do other alien species think about humans? That is perhaps the most surprising part of our investigation, Dr. Veltar said. Many advanced species have begun studying human culture. Not to conquer them, but to learn from them. Learn what? How to build better societies. The Andromedan Council has adopted human-style democratic systems. The Centauri Federation has implemented human concepts of individual rights. Even the Vegan Empire has started using human methods for resolving conflicts between different species. The Queen felt dizzy. Everything she thought she knew about humans was wrong. They were not primitive savages. They were not violent conquerors. They were something much more dangerous. They were teachers who were changing the galaxy simply by being themselves. Your Majesty, Commander Keshan said quietly. There is one more thing you should know. What? Captain Chen is on his way here. His ship will arrive tomorrow. Princess Lyranel woke up in terrible pain. She tried to sit up in her bed, but something was wrong. Her stomach felt like fire, and she could barely breathe. She pressed the emergency button next to her bed with shaking hands. Within minutes, Dr. Veltar rushed into her room with 2 medical assistants. His face went pale when he saw her condition. Get her to the medical center immediately, he ordered. And call the Queen. As they moved Lyranel to the hospital, she whispered, Is my baby safe? Please tell me, my baby is safe. Dr. Veltar did not answer right away. His medical scanners were showing him something very dangerous. The hybrid baby was growing too fast. Its mixed DNA was causing problems that Caltheron medicine had never seen before. Queen Zarathis arrived at the medical center just as Marcus Chen's ship landed at the royal spaceport. She had to make an impossible choice. See her daughter who might be dying, or deal with the human who had caused all of this trouble. How is she? The Queen demanded as she entered the medical center. Not good, Your Majesty, Doctor. Veltar replied honestly. The baby's mixed genetics are causing severe complications. The child is trying to develop both Caltheron and human characteristics at the same time. Her body cannot handle the stress. Can you save her? Dr. Veltar looked at his medical readings again. I do not know. We have never dealt with anything like this before. Our medicines work on pure Caltheron physiology. This hybrid pregnancy is beyond our experience. The Queen felt ice-cold fear run through her body. She might lose her daughter because of this impossible pregnancy. Do whatever you must, she ordered. Use any treatment necessary. Your Majesty, Dr. Veltar said carefully, there might be one option, but you will not like it. Tell me, the human, Marcus Chen, is requesting permission to help. He says human doctors dealt with similar problems in their early genetic experiments. He believes human medical techniques might be able to stabilize the pregnancy. The Queen's 4 hands clenched into fists. Never. I will not allow that primitive alien to touch my daughter. Your Majesty, with respect, he might be her only chance, Dr. Veltar said quietly. Before the Queen could respond, alarms began beeping throughout the medical center. Liranel's condition was getting worse. She is losing the baby, one of the medical assistants reported. And if we cannot stop the bleeding soon, we might lose her too. The Queen ran to her daughter's bedside. Liranel's beautiful blue skin had turned pale gray. Her breathing was shallow and quick. Her eyes were closed, but tears ran down her face. My baby, Liranel whispered without opening her eyes. Queen Zarathis felt her heart breaking. In that moment, nothing else mattered, except saving her daughter and grandchild. Not tradition, not politics, not her pride. Bring the human here, she ordered. Bring him now. 10 minutes later, Marcus Chen entered the medical center. He still wore his traveling clothes and looked tired from his journey, but his eyes were focused and determined. When he saw Liranel lying unconscious on the medical table, his face went pale with fear. How bad is it? He asked Dr. Veltar. Very bad, the doctor replied. We are losing both mother and child. Can human medicine really help? Marcus nodded. Not human medicine alone. We need to combine human and Caltheron techniques. The baby needs both types of medical support to survive. What do you need? The Queen asked. She was surprised by how calm and professional Marcus sounded. I need to access your medical computers, Marcus explained. I have files from Earth that show how to treat genetic complications in mixed pregnancies, but I need to combine that information with Caltheron medical knowledge. Dr. Veltar looked at the Queen. Sharing their medical secrets with an alien was forbidden by ancient laws. Do it, the Queen ordered. For the next hour, Marcus worked alongside Caltheron doctors. The Queen watched in amazement as the human quickly learned to use their medical equipment. He asked intelligent questions and offered suggestions that made sense. The problem is that the baby's body cannot decide which genetic pattern to follow, Marcus explained as he worked. Human genetics develop quickly but simply. Caltheron genetics develop slowly but with complex interconnections. The baby is trying to do both at the same time. How do we fix that? Dr. Veltar asked. We need to slow down the human development while supporting the Caltheron patterns. Marcus replied. I brought some human medical supplies that can help, but we need to modify them with Caltheron bioenhancers. The Queen watched as Marcus mixed human and Caltheron medicines with careful precision. His hands were steady and sure, even though she could see he was deeply worried about Liranel. This should work, Marcus said. But there is one more problem. The treatment needs genetic material from both parent species to stabilize properly. You can provide the human genetic material, Dr. Veltar said. But we need Caltheron royal DNA to match the princess's bloodline. Everyone in the room looked at the Queen. She would have to give her own genetic material to help save a half-human grandchild. The Queen looked at her unconscious daughter. She thought about all the years Liranel had been the perfect princess. All the time she had made her mother proud. All the love they had shared. What do you need from me? The Queen asked. Marcus looked surprised by her quick agreement. Just a small blood sample. Your Majesty. The royal genetic markers will help stabilize the baby's development. As Dr. Veltar took her blood sample, the Queen watched Marcus prepare the treatment. She saw how gently he touched Liranel's hand. She saw the love and fear in his eyes. This was not the primitive savage she had imagined. This was a man who loved her daughter completely. Ready, Marcus announced. Dr. Veltar, please monitor her vital signs while I inject the treatment. The Queen held her breath as Marcus slowly injected the combined human Caltheron medicine into her daughter's bloodstream. For several minutes, nothing seemed to happen. Then the medical monitors began showing improvement. Her blood pressure is stabilizing, Dr. Veltar reported. The baby's heart rate is returning to normal. Marcus did not celebrate. He continued monitoring the treatment carefully, adjusting dosages and checking readings. The Queen realized that he knew exactly what he was doing. This was not luck or guessing. This was real medical knowledge. Hours passed. Slowly, Lyranel's condition improved. Her breathing became deeper and more regular. Her skin color began returning to its normal blue shade. Most importantly, the baby's development stabilized. Finally, Lyranel opened her eyes. The first person she saw was Marcus, who was sitting beside her bed, holding her hand. "Marcus?" she whispered. "You came back." "I never left," he replied softly. "I just went to get help for you and our baby." Lyranel looked around and saw her mother standing nearby. "Mother, are we all right? Is the baby safe?" The Queen approached her daughter's bed. "Yes, my child. You are both safe. This human, Marcus, he saved your lives." Marcus stood up and bowed respectfully to the Queen. "Your Majesty, thank you for letting me help. I know this was not easy for you." The Queen studied Marcus's face. She saw honesty, intelligence, and deep love for her daughter. She also saw something she had not expected: respect for Kaltheron culture and genuine gratitude for being allowed to help. For the first time since this crisis began, Queen Zarathis began to understand why her daughter had fallen in love with this human. 3 months later, Princess Lyranel went into labor. The birth happened in the Royal Medical Center, with Dr. Veltar and Marcus working together to ensure everything went smoothly. Queen Zarathis waited outside the delivery room, pacing back and forth with nervous energy. During the months since the medical crisis, many things had changed. Marcus had remained on the Kaltheron homeworld as an honored guest. The Queen had spent time talking with him, learning about human culture and philosophy. She was still not completely comfortable with her daughter's choice, but she could no longer deny that Marcus was a good man. The delivery room doors opened, and Dr. Veltar emerged with a smile on his face. "Your Majesty, you have a healthy grandchild." The Queen rushed into the room. Lyranel was sitting up in bed, looking tired but happy. Marcus stood beside her, holding a small bundle wrapped in soft blue cloth. "Mother," Lyranel said softly, "would you like to meet your granddaughter?" Marcus carefully placed the baby in the Queen's forearms. Queen Zarathis looked down at the tiny face and gasped. The baby was beautiful. She had her mother's blue skin, but it was lighter, almost silver. Her hair was dark like Marcus's, but it had a slight blue tint. Her eyes, when she opened them, were a stunning violet color that neither species possessed. "She is perfect," the Queen whispered. "What is her name?" "Zaralyn," Lyranel replied. "It means Bridge of Hope in both our languages." As the Queen held her granddaughter, something magical happened. The baby looked directly into her eyes and made a soft, cooing sound. In that moment, the Queen felt a love so strong, it took her breath away. This child was not an abomination or a mistake. She was a miracle. "She is trying to communicate," Dr. Veltar observed with excitement. "Look at her brain patterns on the monitor." The Queen looked at the medical screens. The baby's neural activity was unlike anything they had ever seen. It showed patterns from both human and Kaltheron brain development, but also something completely new. Over the following weeks, little Zaralyn amazed everyone. She learned to recognize voices much faster than normal babies. She responded to both Kaltheron and human speech patterns. Most surprising of all, she seemed to understand emotions in a way that was beyond her age. When Marcus sang human lullabies to her, she would calm down immediately. When the Queen sang traditional Kaltheron songs, the baby would smile and reach toward her. It was as if she instinctively knew both cultures were part of her heritage. One day, while the Queen was holding Zaralyn in the palace gardens, Marcus approached her carefully. Over the past months, their relationship had improved, but it was still formal and polite. "Your Majesty," Marcus said, "may I speak with you?" "Of course," the Queen replied. She had learned to appreciate Marcus's direct but respectful manner of speaking. I want to thank you for accepting me and for saving Lyra and our daughter, Marcus began. I know this has been very difficult for you. The queen looked down at the baby sleeping peacefully in her arms. I will not lie to you, Marcus. This was not what I wanted for my daughter, but I can see that you love her truly. And this child is something special. She is, Marcus agreed. Dr. Veltar says she might have abilities that neither of our species possesses alone. Enhanced empathy, improved problem-solving, maybe even the ability to communicate across species barriers. What do you mean? Marcus smiled. Yesterday, when one of your palace guards was feeling sad about his sick mother, Zaralyn started crying and would not stop until someone comforted the guard. She somehow sensed his emotional pain. The queen looked at her granddaughter with new wonder. She can feel other people's emotions? It seems like it. And that is just the beginning. Imagine what she might be capable of as she grows up. Over the following months, word of the hybrid baby spread throughout the galaxy. Scientists from many different worlds requested permission to study Zaralyn's development. Diplomats wanted to understand how human-Caltheron cooperation had achieved something previously thought impossible. The queen found herself at the center of a galactic transformation. Other species began asking for human advisors to help solve their problems. The unique human ability to think outside traditional patterns was becoming valuable throughout the known worlds. Mother, Lyranel said one day, as they watched Marcus teaching Zaralyn to crawl. I have an idea. What is it, my daughter? Marcus and I want to create a new kind of diplomatic service. Teams of humans and Caltherans working together to help other species resolve conflicts and solve problems. The queen considered this proposal. You want to make our cooperation with humans official? Yes. We have seen how well our peoples can work together. Marcus's creativity, combined with our wisdom and patience, could help bring peace to many worlds. The queen watched as little Zaralyn successfully crawled from Marcus to her mother, babbling happily in sounds that seemed to combine both languages. Tell me more about this idea, the queen said. Over the next hour, Lyranel and Marcus explained their vision. Teams of human and Caltheran diplomats would travel throughout the galaxy, offering their services to any species facing difficult problems. They would not seek to conquer or control, but simply to help find solutions. The galaxy has been divided for too long, Marcus explained. Species stick to their own kind and fight over resources and territory. But what if we could show them a different way? What if we could prove that cooperation creates better results than competition? The queen thought about everything she had learned over the past months. She thought about how Marcus had saved her daughter's life. She thought about the amazing child who represented the best of both their worlds. I agree, she announced. But I have one condition. What is it, mother? Lyranel asked. I want to be personally involved in this new diplomatic service. I want to see other worlds and meet other species. I want to learn as much as Marcus has taught me about looking at problems in new ways. Marcus bowed deeply. Your Majesty, we would be honored to have your wisdom and experience as part of our team. 6 months later, the first joint human-Caltheran diplomatic mission departed for the Centauri system, where two species had been fighting over mining rights for 50 years. The team included Queen Zarathis, Princess Lyranel, Captain Marcus Chen, and baby Zaralyn. On the day before they left, the queen stood in her throne room one last time. Everything had changed. Her daughter was married to a human. Her granddaughter was a hybrid who might represent the future of galactic civilization. And she herself was about to become a traveling diplomat instead of a traditional ruler. Do you regret any of it? Lyranel asked, joining her mother in the throne room. The queen looked at her daughter, who was holding little Zaralyn. The baby was playing with a toy that projected both Caltheron and human music, giggling as the different melodies blended together. No, the queen said with complete honesty. I do not regret any of it. Your Marcus taught me that the greatest strength comes not from purity, but from the courage to embrace what is different and new. As if she understood the conversation, baby Zaralyn looked at her grandmother and spoke her first clear word: unity. The word was perfect in both Caltheron and human languages. representing everything the three generations of women hope to achieve in the galaxy.